Before you listen to this episode of We Got This with Mark and Hal, it is the holiday season, and that means gifts. And what better gift can you give the friend or family member in your life than having them advertise our podcast on their body? So here's what you do. You go to www.maxfunstore.com, and that is where you can get all of your fine Maximum Fun merchandise, including We Got This t-shirt. On the front it says podcast should have a theme song, and on the back it says podcast should not have a theme song. That's for adults. There's a very cool poster with art by Len Peralta that you can get there. But here's the new item. We're so excited about this. This was a suggestion from a listener. It was suggested at DragonCon, and now it has come true. A onesie for the little tyke in your life. That's right. Advertise our podcast on your baby or the baby in your life. It's a cute little green onesie, and on the front it says, "We had this." Yes, it is about you. We got the topics. You had the baby. Let's all get together. Yeah. And advertise our podcast on your baby. Advertise it on yourself. If you're a fan of the show and you have a little one, this is a really fun gift. And hey, if you know a couple who's not even a listener of the show yet, this is a really fun gift for them anyway. When they go, "Where did you get this?" That is your in. That is where you tell them all about We Got This with Mark and Hal. But for now, go to maxfunstore.com. Get all of your We Got This merch for the holidays. You order it now. You have it in plenty of time. You can gift wrap it. Give it to the special people in your life. Or hey, get it for yourself. You deserve it. It's been a year and you deserve the very best, which you can get at maxfunstore.com. Look at the We Got This merch. Right now, at this moment, I'm looking at the site. We are one of the featured shows. Who knows how long that'll last, but you can find it anyway. Everything you need at maxfunstore.com. And now, I haven't said this in a while. Please enjoy this episode of We Got This with Mark and Hal. This is for both of us, one of our top 10 favorites of all time. No joke. Enjoy. Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle once and for all.
Best as seen on TV product.
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcast should have a theme song. Podcast should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
This is what happens when we record in the same room.
Yeah.
Is we just see each other and start giggling like dum-dums.
Well,
Because we know how ridiculous this episode is going to be. I'm so excited about this.
yeah. First, thank you to Dennis LaChapelle
Thank you, Dennis LaChapelle.
for putting this on Facebook. I took a screenshot of it immediately and sent it to you, which is the only way you'll see things on Facebook.
Yes. And when you did, I forgot to send back that sounds great because I just started researching and then went down a rabbit hole of infomercial products.
You sent me so many things today. I think you sent me like 7 different links.
Yeah.
And Kate McManus did do research on
Yes.
this. She compiled a really great list, but we dug even deeper.
Yeah. We had to because this is so dumb and so fun.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, Hal, but all growing up, I have had such an affinity for the infomercial as seen on TV format.
Yes.
Growing up as a kid, I grew up in the golden age of the infomercial.
Sure.
And it is now the block on most channels from 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. is infomercials.
Yes.
So if you're up either very, very late or very, very early, you're going to see some pretty incredible products.
Yes. You can do everything from make a chicken to replace your hair to live on a yacht with a bunch of women in bikinis from selling real estate.
Yeah. And you can also make as much money as that guy that used to dress up like the Riddler did.
That's right. Matthew Lesko.
Matthew Lesko.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many great pitchmen through the years and so many great products, and we're going to get to all of the greats. But first, now I sound
You want to
like,
go right into this?
I sound like a pitchman.
Yeah.
But first, I'd like to go over what an infomercial is, what
Yes.
the as seen on TV craze is, where it began, because there's some surprising moments in its history.
Okay.
Do we want to talk about this guy right now, or do we want to do that overview and then dive? I want to just talk about this guy.
I think we should just talk about him.
Oh man, people of the world, there is the very first infomercial ever made.
Yes.
Papa Barnard.
Papa Barnard.
Yeah,
this is Papa Barnard.
And the very first infomercial ever made in 1949 for the
70 years ago
product season 70th anniversary of the filming of this. It is an infomercial for a product that is still around today, presented by the inventor of that product, and it is the Vitamix.
I love that this video that you sent, I hadn't even noticed because, people will find any kind of archival footage and just throw it up on the internet.
Yeah. It's fun. I actually love, there's a whole series of them on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of great old 1950s industrial footage and stuff that's really fun.
I've watched them. I think I still have downloaded on my iPad the drive-in theater commercials.
Oh, I love them.
Just to watch. I'll watch 3 hours of that on a flight. I don't care. This was posted to YouTube by Vitamix. I didn't realize it.
No.
It is their account.
They are willingly showing this to people.
They're like, hey, this is where it all began. I mean, at this point, they are almost bulletproof as a blender. Like,
if you
everybody
could sell
wants
a blender
them
for $400 and people buy it, you are bulletproof.
And it is essentially, you were saying, the same product that we see here.
Sold back then for $34.99.
Yeah.
Which was the equivalent, I looked it up, of $379.
Oh, wow. So it is almost the exact same price.
The exact same price.
Wow.
Yeah. It has adjusted for inflation pretty much dead on.
Well, this guy, Papa Barnard. William G. Papa Barnard, he is... is dyspeptic the word that I'm looking for?
Ornery?
Ornery.
I've never seen a sales pitch like this. Everybody please watch this because it is horrifying.
Yes.
He spends the entire infomercial berating the housewives of America for cooking food for their families.
Yeah.
And in his words, throwing all the nutrients in a sewer. He keeps saying that. I've never seen a hard sell that is basically, your family's gonna die if you keep doing what you're doing. This is my product I invented. It's gonna keep your whole family from dying.
Yeah, according to his pitch, every homemaker in the world in 1949 had Munchausen by proxy syndrome and was trying to keep their families sick or as close to death as possible by peeling potatoes and taking the eyes out of them. Yeah. That's where the iodine is.
Yeah, that's where all the nutrients are.
Yeah, he was like, you need silicon in your body? I don't know if that's true.
I don't either. Silica is that gel that very specifically says do not eat in your shoes.
Oh my, he would have just been eating jackets whole.
You just put the whole jacket here in the blender and you start it, you got matched jackets. But don't cook it. Why would you put it in warm water, you moron?
Yeah, it is the hard sell, like just angry that the whole world isn't doing this.
Yeah.
I understand that where he is coming from is a philosophy. It's not just that he's making a sales pitch. He has this Whole Foods before it was cool philosophy of raw, don't cook it, just you get all the nutrients. In fact, don't even throw away the eggshell.
Oh.
Yes, he throws an egg in its entirety.
The only three things I remember, and there were some liquids in there to start.
He, the first thing he does is make breadcrumbs.
Right.
Hey, you can use your soft breads. You can use your hard breads. Use your toasted breads if you want. Throw them all in there.
And he only says like one thing you can do with them. Like it feels, I'm sure he did it a million times and he was probably somewhat nervous to be doing this on television, which nobody ever had before. Yeah. But he was like,
you can make stuffing with the bread or a bread covering for breaded things or stuffing. Everybody loves stuffing. Even you, Grandma, you old bag. I hate you.
I hate you and everything you've done to your family. Look at you ruining your whole family like this. Oh,
he even goes like,
look at the carrot. Look at the carrot here. Now, probably a housewife, your wife or your mother or your grandmother has a recipe for buttered carrots. And then he picks up a book. He's like, just got it in a cookbook. I'm going to make buttered carrots.
Well, he does it like,
that's
like a
right,
wife voice.
I'm going to make buttered carrots.
Yes, I'm going to make buttered carrots. You know who doesn't eat buttered carrots? Horses. Horses won't eat a cooked carrot.
Right.
You try to give a horse a cooked carrot?
They think, what am I, a dumb animal?
yes, you're a horse.
Hey, let's not be mean to horses, Hal.
You're right.
How horses are majestic.
Mr. Ed was pretty smart too.
Man, that's a weird thing about Montreal to see in the grocery store, but I digress.
That's right. You said one of my favorite things. You send me things, including horse fondue.
Yeah, horse fondue.
Is that just pieces of horse meat? It was vacuum sealed.
Yeah.
It looked like beets.
Yeah, it's very lean, so it's going to be bright red.
Do you just throw it into the blender with the whole egg, the raisins, the dry carrot?
By the way, I would also like to point out that the reason he's so loud is because he turns on the Vitamix maybe 5 minutes into this thing and never turns it off.
He just keeps going.
Dropping crap in it. These are the things that he puts. This is the garbage that he puts into this super healthy meal.
Yes.
Orange juice, which he then alternately refers to as pineapple juice or orange juice for the rest of the time.
Yes.
Carrot.
Yep.
Cucumber. Sure.
Yeah.
Good. A whole egg.
Yep. Raisins.
Shell. Ugh. Raisins.
Which he says were in the Garden of Eden. Not sure where, I don't know what verse that's in, but I'm not very,
yeah, don't you remember when the serpent handed Eve that little red box and opened it up and then did that thing where you could put your mouth around the whole thing and it goes,
yeah, you turned it, that was the forbidden knowledge.
Yeah, the forbidden knowledge was that you can take a Sun-Maid raisin box and make a little kazoo out of it.
He drinks it too. I'm watching him drink it. He really does look like one of the characters who doesn't have any lines in Guys and Dolls. He's just at Junior's, like, he's silently ordering cheesecake.
He looks like he went to his tailor and said, can you give me the Fred Mertz?
He's wearing a quintuple breasted suit. With buttons that include one, I guess the one on the lapel is either an errant button because it looks like all the buttons on the suit, or it's like some secret.
It's the Carrot Society, Dry Carrot Society.
You know what? You know what he's going to do with that button.
Put it in the blender.
Yeah, he's going to throw it in the blender.
He does drink it and he lives.
Yeah. For at least until the end of the infomercial.
Yeah. That was my message to you, is that he died 45 seconds after the cameras went black.
It is one of those very strange things.
There are a lot of strategies in this that he uses that carried over to the modern infomercial in terms of like, you have a need that you don't even know about. I'm going to solve a problem for you. But he goes so far.
Yeah.
The whole thing about
mothers asking their doctors for permission to breastfeed. I mean, what living animal does that? And so the kids grow up and then they're eating mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes. We go to the restaurant, mashed potatoes. I go to your house, mashed potatoes.
I mean, I understand pointing out a need, but does it have to do it with such nihilism?
No.
Holy crap.
Hey, Grandma, you old bat, I hate you so much. Making those mashed potatoes and killing Grandpa slowly with your starchy poison.
I also love at the end when it's time to tell you how to do it, because there was no internet back then.
Yeah.
There was no direct marketing. All he had was this infomercial. He came up with this idea or somebody came up with this idea for the infomercial.
Yeah.
But he's got to get you to order it from the right place. So he keeps at the end of it saying like, all right, get a pen and paper, get a pencil and paper. Go grab a pencil and a paper right now. Grab your pencil. Do you have a pencil and paper? Get your pencil and paper. All right. I'm going to say it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to say it. Get your pencil and paper. We're going to put it on a screen. Get your pencil and paper ready.
Pencil and paper.
I go over to your house, pencil and paper. You come over to my house, pencil and paper.
You go to the stationery store, pencil and paper.
Oh my God.
So we're going to take that pencil and paper. We're going to put it right here in the Vitamix. We're going to mix it up.
We could talk about this guy all night. And I would love to, but we do have to talk about some of the other wonderful infomercials through the years.
This was so bad that I sent it to Bill Corbett and just wrote, "You've seen this, right? You're aware of this."
Yeah. Hey, listen, can you do your riff tracks thing that you guys do to this little gem?
Can we please just do a one night riff tracks on this with us?
Yeah.
Please.
It is jarring.
Oh my God.
So this was 1949.
Yes.
And the early years of television, you remember like soap operas are so called because they were Lux Soap paid for them, and advertising was super, super heavy. And then in the early 60s, the FCC put the kibosh on it.
Yes.
They're like, look, guys, you can't have 70% of an episode of television be advertising.
Yes.
So the infomercial died. This was sort of an early thing. It never really caught on as a a way to advertise. It was more the things like soap operas and branded entertainment, which we see a lot of now. In the 70s, somebody found a loophole in San Diego where every Sunday morning, do you know about this one? Every Sunday morning,
No.
there was a company that would just do an hour of real estate listings. It's like, well, this is clearly just advertising. But what they did was they were outside the FCC's jurisdiction because the company was based out of Tijuana, just across the Mexican border, which did not have these laws.
Wow.
But they recorded them and broadcast them in English to the San Diego audience.
Okay.
So that was in the 70s. Then in 1981 and 1984, two different laws were passed. God bless the deregulation of the conservative Reagan years.
Yes.
Where you could have as much advertising as you wanted.
Which also gave us cartoons like G.I. Joe, Masters of the Universe, and Transformers.
Did it really?
Which were essentially commercial. I mean, they were workarounds as commercials for toys.
Yeah.
They were made to sell the toys. The toys did not come from the cartoons.
I thought the toys came from, oh no, we talked about this, didn't
So
we?
yeah, we have talked about this. I do want
I
to.
forgot that the toys, I did not know until we talked about it on the episode 3 years ago, and then I forgot about it.
See, you learned it again.
Yeah.
I don't want
I'm like a goldfish on this show.
We're about to get so deep, Dory, into like this golden age of infomercials. But
yes,
it would be weird to talk about. And I know the idea is these are things sold in infomercials because everything's been seen on TV. You know,
right.
Palmolive, Corn Hops. But it would be odd to have this discussion. I know he's going to come up again.
That's the name of my rockabilly band.
Yeah, the Corn Hops. It would be weird to have a discussion of a seen on TV products and not talk about a couple things from the 70s. Number one, everything Ron Popeil put out, including the Pocket Fisherman.
Right.
And also K-Tel.
K-Tel was the 1970s.
Cheap collections of your favorite hits.
You ever wonder why your K-Tel records played at such a low volume? Because they were ultra thin, ultra cheap vinyl, and the grooves weren't that deep. So they could fit way more grooves on a record to get 25 songs on one album, but they couldn't get them to play very loudly.
You could just barely hear them.
Yeah.
But the Ron Popeil stuff, like those are...
His father, wasn't it, that originally started doing it?
I think you're right.
It was the Popeil family. And the Pocket Fisherman came out back then. The Chia Pet.
Yes.
The Chia Pet invented in the 1970s.
Yes.
Ginsu knives.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know where Ginsu knives are from?
Illinois.
You're very close. Ohio.
Really?
The point is not Japan.
Do you know what else is from Ohio?
What's that?
The Vitamix blender.
Why? Where they're like the National Pure. Wait, they're called. I'm gonna tell you because it's on here.
Oh, his company
the company that bought the Time, starring W.G. Barnard, the Natural Foods Institute in Olmsted Falls, Ohio. So if you live in or near Olmsted Falls, Ohio, maybe you know this. Maybe it's like a famous thing. That is where this initial, I'm so glad we were able to come back to him for a second. As he'd like, I'm going to go to heaven and I'm going to haunt the ghosts of your mothers and grandmothers and make them pay. I'm going to send them down to HE double hockey sticks for everything they did to those potatoes.
Also, while we're on this guy again, I'm guessing he's a teetotaler because he said, now someone asked me if you could put alcohol in this. I guess, but you better not say to your health when you drink it.
So that's what I would have been like. That would have been me in 1949.
Yeah. And don't even think about giving me the bubbles.
Hey, it's midnight. Let's go to a diner. You know what I can do right now that would be really sinful? A slice of cherry pie with ice cream.
And we take that cherry pie with ice cream, drop it right in the blender.
Mix it in with some dry carrots, powdered celery,
and
bread.
A whole egg.
A whole egg. Shell it all. I'm going to put the carton in here.
But now we are getting into the golden age of the late night infomercial, which made popular by a million things in confluence all at once.
Yes.
The deregulation in 1984, cable television showing up, the idea that television didn't have to sign off at the end of the day and something could fill those late night hours.
Yes.
And that is where our lists the bulk of our lists will come from that.
Now, it seems like a lot of these, I would assume to qualify for the best, one of the things has to be sales. That it's sold well. It doesn't necessarily have to be the best selling.
Right.
but
We do have a list of the best-selling infomercial products of all time.
We do. Now, here's a question.
Okay.
So that's one, is how well has it sold? Is it a well-selling thing that most people have heard of?
Right.
I think that's one, right?
Sure.
Would another be, we can go either way. Is it something you really want because you think it actually will solve a problem? Or is it something you really want because it's so dumb
Yeah.
that you just have to, like, it's morbid
bad it's
curiosity
good kind of thing?
Yeah. Is that what we're looking for? The dumbest?
I think there's that, you know what? The utility of it, if the utility just happens to be irony, then so be it.
Okay.
I think the pitchman for it is also going to be a big part of it.
All right.
Or pitch person. I don't know how many of these products, actually, no, a few of them are. The number one seller of all time was, Dr. Kathy Fields, Dr. Katie Rodan, and Judith Light.
Yes, that's
was,
right.
Proactive, the number one selling, directly marketed product of all time.
And now, like a ton of Jessica Simpson, Katy Perry, Adam Levine, all of these super
aren't,
famous people.
That I don't think of as pitchmen so much. I think Kathy Fields and Katie Rodan, yes, but then it's just testimonials at that point.
Yeah, even they're not as much.
No, but I think that's another big part of it.
Yeah, with pitchmen, you're thinking of like Billy Mays, Vince Offer, Ron Popeil, Gary, whatever his name is, Susan Powter,
another great one.
Tony Horton,
Tony Little, who had that
the ab
weird,
tiger,
he had the gazelle,
yes,
the Bowflex that makes you look like you're doing a Jane Fonda workout.
Did you?
Because it's just the like straight legged swooshing for an hour.
Did you have a product like that in your home?
I did. I have bought.
I mean, like growing up, did your parents buy
like a
like
Bowflex?
This? Something like that, yeah. A big item. Was there like a big item that felt like, cause we had a Nordic Track.
We had this one. It was like a Gravity Edge or something like that.
Okay.
That it didn't use weights. Like the Bowflex used bands or tension, like the tension levels.
Yeah.
This one used your body weight. So as you were bench pressing, you were actually lifting yourself up.
Okay.
You were using your own body weight. Augmented either with bands to make it less or more.
That's smart.
It was a cool contraption, and I used to use it when I was a kid. Mostly I would just play with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit down and do 60 reps, but I'd be like, this is neat.
We had a Nordic Track, which I think was like the least. I think that it did have an infomercial. I'm sure it did.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't as cool. It didn't have like a Stop the Insanity or Tony Little.
Yeah.
Hips, thighs, and buttocks. I think that was his main thing that he would say a lot.
Hips, thighs, and buttocks?
Hips, thighs, and buttocks, because that was the area it worked out. Also, was the king of the early pitchmen in the 80s Richard Simmons?
Absolutely.
Well, you're going to talk about fitness?
Sweating to the oldies in the top 10 of all time. Total sales of approximately $200 million. Actually, a lot of these, the top 10 all time, the Total Gym, P90X.
Yeah.
Didn't know that Tony Horton was a stand-up comedian.
I didn't either.
Before he was a crazy fit 54-year-old dude.
Have you ever done P90X?
Oh yeah.
Me too.
Oh yeah. It is hard.
It is very hard. Jennifer did it for like a full 90
she do the
days.
Full thing?
I think leading up to our wedding.
Yeah.
And I tried it and I was like, no.
Well, it's like,
I can't.
It's now you're doing half an hour of pull-ups. I'm sorry. Did you say half hour of pull-ups? How do you want to divide this up? Do you want to just, cause I really have we just have a bunch of different lists in front of us, really. Like,
right.
We've got the best selling of all time. We've got Kate McManus's, exhaustive list of mostly what seem to be modern day, mostly in the 1995 range.
Yes.
Which is fantastic. And there's one on here that I've not seen in any of these other lists that makes me very happy.
Which one's that?
The Flowbee.
Yes.
Made fun of in Wayne's World.
Yes.
So what we have done is we have divided the greatest of all kitchen products after scouring the internet with exhaustive research from Kate McManus and our own individual dumb dives. We have found what we believe is a pretty exhaustive list in 5 different categories. So we're going to tackle 5 categories.
Yes.
We're going to pull one from each category to be the victor, and then those 5 are going to be the finalists.
Yes.
Let's start Oh, I'll tell you the 5 categories.
Yeah, give us a little something.
The 5 categories are kitchen gadgets, grooming,
Yes.
workout,
Sure.
household help,
Important.
and weirdos.
The best of all, we'll find out.
Let's start with kitchen gadgets.
Okay.
Here's the list. We can see which ones jump out at us and debate the merits of them. The George Foreman grill, the slap chop, the Showtime rotisserie, set it, and
Forget it.
yeah, you knew that one.
Yes, I
Ginsu
did.
knives, the Vegematic, the Food Saver vacuum, $160 to save yourself $3. Fasta pasta or Fasta pasta or Fasta pasta. The Vitamix, the NutriBullet, the Magic Bullet, the Ronco electric food dehydrator, the Of Glove, the spaghetti twirling fork, the Stonewave micro cooker, and the perfect meatloaf pan. There's some real doozies in there.
Yeah, there are. One definitely stands out to me. I do have to say I love Ginsu knives because all I wanted as a kid, more than anything in the world, was to cut a tin can in half.
Yeah, they sort of came up with that whole thing that was later used for the Miracle Blade. That
Yeah.
was the 90s version of Ginsu knives, which I didn't have on here because Miracle Blade just seemed like the rip-off version of Ginsu knives, or
Yeah.
the updated version of Ginsu knives.
Yeah. But that's like any good infomercial has to have a huge moment where they show you how like this is so sharp.
Look what it's like, we'll get to it later, but when Flex Seal, patches a hole in a tank, a spewing tank of water with a hole in it.
It just slaps
Or
it on there.
Was it Flex Seal that did
They take a boat.
that put a boat back together?
They take a boat,
Yeah.
slice it in half lengthwise, and then tape it back together and put it out on the water.
That's insane.
So they're
but
like,
we're talking
here
about
it works.
kitchen stuff right now.
Yes.
So Ginsu knives, one of the OGs.
Yes.
Like really a big part of the movement. The movement. I say that
movement.
like it's a social justice movement for
Sure.
products.
Yeah. There are 2 that stand out to me the most.
I think that Ginsu knives stands out. I think the
Yeah.
Vitamix, because it was the absolute original.
And it has the best, if we were doing best infomercial,
That's the Vitamix one.
it's the Vitamix
For
one.
its lunatic garbage. What
No
y'all
question.
did not hear on a brief break was when Jen came in and we were like, Jen, you have to watch this. And she was horrified and angry.
Like
at
5
this.
times, just
Yeah.
more and more.
Yeah. This guy is basically, what's his name? Reverend Parrish that,
Yeah, sure.
that blames all the women of Salem for all the ills.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think the ones that really come out of this, I think the two real contenders in this, one because of the ubiquity of the product and one because of the ubiquity of the infomercial,
Sure.
are the George Foreman grill and the Showtime rotisserie.
I agree with you 100%. And Ron Popeil brought a lot of different sales pitch language that we hear all the time. But wait, there's more. How much would you pay for this?
Yeah.
A lot of the Bass-O-Matic is Dan Aykroyd and SNL at that time send up of Ron Popeil
Yeah.
and how many commercials he had everywhere. The Galactic Prophylactic in Eddie Murphy's cast, where they had, I think, Mary Gross jumping up and down on a mini trampoline that was supposed to be the Galactic Prophylactic. Those idea pit, it just gives you it's a great comedy fodder
Yeah.
that he's embraced and is still alive and kicking it at the age of 84.
Yeah.
Who knows how many hundreds of millions of dollars Ronco he's sold. He doesn't even own it anymore. I'm sure he's inventing other things, but
Do you own any of these products or have you ever owned any of these products?
I don't think I've ever owned a Ron Popeil product. No.
I have.
What did you have?
I had the Ronco food dehydrator, which was my obsession as a kid. It was you know what it was? It was my go-to joke noun. You always have like that one random thing.
Yeah.
The Ronco electric food dehydrator was always my go-to joke noun.
Yeah.
But I actually got one. I saw one at a thrift store and I bought it, and I bought a great big bag of produce, like a giant grocery bag full of delicious fruits. And I tried out my Ronco food dehydrator. And when I was done, that entire giant, delicious smelling and looking bag of fresh fruit fit in one little Ziploc sandwich baggie. And everything was, it's what dried fruit is.
It worked.
It worked. It was disappointing because it's like, hey, do you have a lot of stuff and want to have just a tiny amount of stuff? That's what that felt like to me.
So functionality, which is another thing to think about, is how well does it actually
Right.
work? It did its job.
It did its job.
But you don't feel like it was as advertised. Nothing ever really is, right?
Right. No, it's like, I mean, maybe a Ginsu knife will cut a tin can, or maybe that tin can was made out of K-Tel record vinyl. Anything could cut right through it.
I love the Showtime rotisserie just because it always made me, I'm hungry thinking about it now.
It always looked so good. And Ron Popeil cooked some good looking food in that infomercial.
The food looked great.
I watched that infomercial in its entirety the other day when we were talking about doing this episode. And I'm not going to lie, as soon as it was over, I watched it again.
Yeah, of course you did.
It
made you hungry.
It made me hungry.
And at the same time, he had the food injector, which was like remember in X-Men 2 when Mystique has to sneak metal into the prison, so she injects that guard with the giant, like, what looks like a squeezed ketchup bottle full of metal.
Yep.
It's that, but for garlic. And it puts it like inside a roast. Again, those look great too. Like everything he made did a great job of going, I need that.
Now,
if only we had that, I could eat like a king all the time.
That is I think that is up there among gold standard infomercials. That said, I have owned a George Foreman grill for most of my life, and I have used it with regularity.
Yes.
I use it all the time. It used to be called the George Foreman lean, mean, fat reducing grilling machine.
Yes.
Remember that when it first came out?
Sure.
And it is maybe my preferred method of cooking proteins. In fact, an old friend, who you might remember, my years ago ex's ex, Joe Antonishek, chef, once worked a catering gig early on in his, and he's like a big, he's a well-respected chef. Early on in his chefing years, catered a party that when he got there realized they did not have a kitchen. So he sent one of his sous chefs to go buy a bunch of Foreman grills. And they just set up a row of George Foreman grills and they catered an entire dinner party. And that's not part of an infomercial. That is just what happened. Like it is a proper functioning product. And I have always loved it.
Yeah.
That said, the Showtime rotisserie is a perfect infomercial. So do we go with the one with the perfect infomercial, or do we go with the one that's the significantly better product? Not maybe not even the significantly better product. Just a great product that everyone has, it seems.
It's such a great, because it can stand up on its side, so it has a low profile in a kitchen. It cooks beautifully. I had one when I first did Weight Watchers back, you remember, like 14 years ago, I would make buffalo steaks all the time, like these bison steaks. I would put it in there for the amount of time it said. It was never dried out. Everything I put in there cooked perfectly, whether it was a chicken breast or like it really, as advertised, did exactly what you hoped.
Exactly what it says.
It cleaned really, really well. Like it was just easy to use. Like everything about it was easy. I think because we're here to pick the best product.
Not the best
infomercial.
I think the Foreman grill has to.
The Foreman grill has to win.
The kitchen gadget.
It is amazing. The spaghetti twirling fork is neat, but it feels like a Simone Yurts thing, like when you see on YouTube, where just like the spaghetti flaps right into her face. So for that reason, like it can't. There are lots of fun, dumb things,
and it's not going to be the NutriBullet or the Magic Bullet because those are just cheaper Vitamixes.
Yes. There we have a NutriBullet here. We use it. It's
because
great.
a Vitamix is stupid expensive. I have a NutriBullet as well.
You know what's weird? The NutriBullet is really bad at making milkshakes. On a Saturday, I was like, I'm going to fill the cup with ice cream, with mint chocolate chip ice cream, and then I'm going to put whole milk in there.
Wow,
and then I'm going to blend it.
Really leaning into that Nutra.
Yeah. Well, I want to get all, look.
Man, every time I made my famous Thin Mint milkshake, everybody knows the recipe. Splash of milk, scoop of ice cream, sleeve of Thin Mints.
Yeah.
It was always with a NutriBullet.
Yeah. I was disappointed with how it blended.
Yeah.
I wish it had blended better.
Yeah. Well, you got to stick a spoon down in there, move stuff around a little.
I mean, eventually you just take the chunky mess and you eat it because it all tastes good.
Yeah. It all tastes like ice cream.
Put a bunch of whipped cream in the cup. It's fine. Look, I'm nobody's fool.
All right. Coming out of the kitchen gadgets category is the George Foreman grill.
Hooray.
Hooray. Let's move on now to grooming products.
All right.
Shorter list. 7 of them on our list made the final cut, and they are the Proactive System, the Flowbee, the Ped Egg, Pedi Perfect, What is Petty Perfect again?
Petty Perfect is like another. It's like an automated scrape your ugly feet.
The Turby Twist, which is a hair towel turban designed to dry hair quickly. The Genie Bra, which is a sports bra with cups, and the GLH. This one we should have put under weirdos.
Yeah.
The GLH hair system, which everyone has seen, is spray paint for your head.
And then go swimming.
Yeah, and then go swimming.
Go in the sauna.
Yeah. And then turn the and then look like someone just scared a squid.
Yeah, there's no guarantee that it will actually work, but you should go.
Yeah.
It's almost like a joke. Like, you should spray it on your head and then you should go swimming.
Yeah.
Go swimming. Oh, he's doing it. He's going in there.
You have to have some hair
Yes.
for this thing to work. You can't be totally bald and just
No.
do this on your bald pate.
Then you'd look like Eddie Munster. It's just plastered to your head.
Or a Ken doll.
But it does sort of, it's supposed to build on itself as you spray.
Yeah, so does paint. Yeah, you know what builds on itself? Any layer of paint.
Nail polish also
Nail
builds on
polish
itself.
builds on itself.
Yeast.
Sure. You know what builds on itself? Anytime you stack more of a thing on top of the amount of the thing you already have.
Old magazines build on themselves.
So it's not the GLH hair system.
No.
I feel like there's a couple of, the Flowbee is really fun. The Flowbee is the vacuum haircutting system.
I mean, it's so dumb.
It's so dumb. They made fun of it in Wayne's World.
Yeah.
It sucks as it cuts. It certainly does suck. But there are a couple in here that I think are actually all right.
Okay.
And the two that I would pull to talk about out of this list are Proactive, which I know a lot of people swear by. It could be snake oil and you might have just grown out of acne. Or it could actually be, it is, I don't know what they claim, but I know a lot of people who swear by it, who swore by it growing up. And one that I know both you and I have owned. It's a little embarrassing. The Pet Egg.
Boy, I'll tell you.
I love that Pet Egg.
If there's
man.
anything, I'll watch TV and have I don't even know if we have the Pet Egg anymore. I feel like Jennifer hid it from me.
Yeah.
Cause it's so, like, you're sitting there watching TV and then
Wait, are you just dandruffing the couch with your foot skin?
No, that's the whole thing is you scrape and then it goes in the egg.
Yeah.
And you take the top off and throw it out. Like, it's like a pencil sharpener for your feet. And you're sitting there and you're like,
So gross.
over my rough, gross. I mean, like my feet are, if I go get a pedicure and the technicians do not speak English or their main language is something other than English, then it will be like
just a conversation in their language.
It will be a full and I feel like maybe this doesn't happen, but in my head, it always starts with, ugh. And then just like foreign language.
Look,
Language.
nobody goes to get a pedicure because their feet look perfect.
No, it's because they need some work, but not, it shouldn't look like.
But the house doesn't need to be ripped down to the foundation.
Exactly. Yeah. It shouldn't be like, were these in an accident?
I'll tell you what I use the Pet Egg for. I still use it. I still like it. I enjoy it.
Carrots.
This can't, you know what? I'm going to throw a whole Pet Egg in there. Grind it up. How are you going to get its nutrients? Because I sometimes maybe this is TMI, but you're sharing, I'll share.
Yeah.
I love yoga.
Yeah.
My feet shred yoga mats.
Okay.
The Pet Egg keeps me from having to constantly buy yoga mats that my dumb calloused feet have shredded while in a downward facing dog.
Yeah. If you have calloused feet,
it's gross. And
tough.
it just rips through. And I'm like, well, now there's another big old tear in my yoga mat. Got to go buy another one.
I wish I had a Pet Egg again. I need to get another one.
Probably stop at CVS on the way home and get a Pet Egg. That's also another benefit of it is
cheap.
Is that it's cheap and it's everywhere. By the way, what percentage of as seen on TV products are sold via television? Or via direct marketing.
You mean what percentage, if 100% of units are sold, what percentage of that
comes
is sold?
from the as seen on TV part?
Would that include I see it on TV and then I go to the internet to order it? off of whatever website that they
Yes.
give me?
Well, I don't know. Maybe now with Amazon, it's a little different, but I don't know if this number that I saw was counting Amazon as a retailer or
I'm
as
going to guess
direct.
85%
Goes through that.
is from the TV exposure.
Incorrect. 90% are purchased in stores.
Wow.
Right?
90% are
You
purchased
just did a
in
total
stores?
infomercial wow.
Wow. I
90%
can't believe
of
it.
infomercial products are purchased in stores. Crazy, right?
Yeah, that is nuts.
Yeah. And that is one of them. I don't know if Proactive is available in stores or if you have to do it through that. The version of the directly marketed skin and holistic healthcare that I use now is
Right.
those essential oils. Because you can't buy them in stores. They make you do the whole
You have to
rigmarole.
do it.
Yeah, it's very silly. But I like them, so I get them.
Yeah.
But I feel like if we're looking at Proactive and the Pet Egg as our two contenders in this,
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, I've never used Proactive, but I know that it is everywhere, and its market permeation
Yeah.
has to put it up near the top. I know the Pet Egg is great, and the Pet Egg has made a lot of money, but Proactive is the number one best-selling infomercial product of all time. Its annual revenue is $1 billion.
Right.
Like that is, I know it's not necessarily the biggest criteria. Total sales of the Pet Egg have been $450 million, and it is firmly in the middle of the pack of the top 10 bestsellers, but Proactive is the number one of all time, just money wise.
Right.
So
Okay.
I feel like we've got to,
Yeah, it makes sense. The Pet Egg is more interesting to me, but it does seem like that has helped more people. Can we just speak briefly for a second about Michael Stephen Levy, the host of Amazing
Discoveries. Yeah.
It's like an interesting guy. He's no longer with us. He passed away 16 years ago.
He's very young, 55, 54.
Very, very sad. Yes. He was like an electrical engineer who started a Dial-A-Joke line and then founded this company, and for 8 years, it was on TV all the time. And you always knew he was going to wear like a weird looking shirt.
Crazy sweater.
Like he made fun of himself. I cannot remember a single product he pitched.
I honestly
remember
thought
him.
that Amazing Discoveries was an actual TV show because it had a name, it had a host, and it was a different product every time.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a TV show.
It's smart. It was a really, really smart way to get that stuff across. Just wanted to, it would feel weird to have a discussion about as seen on TV products without him, although I cannot remember again any of his products.
Well, look, there have been some great pitch men and pitch women in this. We'll get to Billy Mays and Phil Swift, my current favorite.
Yes.
Who I mentioned to you the other day, his face always looks like he just shaved a beard off of it. Doesn't it? His face is always just a little bit lighter than the rest of his skin and way too pristine. Like your cheek and jowl area looks like it is overly smooth.
Every time he tries to go facial hair, it's like, this guy's too intense. We're out of here. Sorry, you're going to have a weirdly colored face.
How about this? Why don't we take a little break?
Okay.
We'll get to the last three categories, and when we come back, we will pick our winner. Don't go anywhere because, wait, there's more.
What if I told you there were other great shows on the Maximum Fun Network? We're going to have you listen to those. How much would you pay for that? $9.99, $19.99, $29.99? Well, they're 100% free.
Yes, until it's time for the Max Fun Drive, which we'll get to later in the year.
Oh, you'll pay. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Renee Colbert.
I'm Alexis Preston.
And we're the hosts of the smash hit podcast, Can I Pet Your Dog? Now, Alexis.
Yes.
We got big news.
Uh-oh.
Since last we did a promo, our dogs have become famous.
World famous.
Stars
on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Second big news. The reviews are in. Take yourself to Apple Podcasts. You know what you're going to hear? We're happy.
It's true.
We're a delight, a great distraction from the world.
I like that part a lot.
So if that's what you guys are looking for, you got to check out our show. But what else can they expect?
We've got dog tech, dog news, celebrities with their dogs, all dog things.
All the dog things. So if that interests you, well, get yourself on over to Maximum Fun every Tuesday.
Have you been to MaxFunStore.com lately? Because we've just launched a ton of new merch for a bunch of your favorite shows. You want a patch? We've got it. Tote, mug, stickers? We got those too. Heck, we've even got a onesie for your favorite baby. Now is the time to start holiday shopping for the Max Fun fans in your life, including yourself. That's MaxFunStore.com.
And we're back.
This is going to be like a 6-hour episode.
I know.
Isn't it? We've been going for a while, and I don't want to stop.
I know. I'm just enjoying being in the room with you.
I know. It's very nice.
This
It's
is
so
nice.
rare. I got 3 days off from work, so I came out to LA to record about infomercials.
That's right. This is what it's really about,
That's
folks.
right. All right. Let's move on to workout helpers.
Okay.
I say workout. I was going to say workout gear, but it's not all gear. Some of it's gear and some of it is, workouts, actual workouts and videos. And the contenders are there's so many good ones in this. I don't know how we're going to pick two to duke it out. The Thigh Master, the Bowflex, P90X, the Gazelle. Oh, Tony Little. There's got to be a gif of that Tony Little Gazelle move, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
The shake weight, 8-minute abs, sweating to the oldies, deal a meal, total gym, and the Hawaii chair. If you haven't seen the Hawaii chair, that's a bit of an obscure one, but it's on the list because it's absolute lunacy. It's just, have you ever sat in your office chair and just swiveled around mindlessly?
Yeah.
It's just that. But somehow they marketed it and were like, hey, do you want to mindlessly swivel in a chair and pretend it's a workout?
You know what's more fun than anything? A loose chair. You're going to think the seat's going to fall off the whole time as you swivel your hips like you're at a Jim Neighbors concert. By the way, is this the GIF that you're thinking of? Tony Little going full spread, like he's doing a full. You at home, like this guy is a fitness professional. He's in fantastic shape.
Yeah.
Who knows what he's taking?
A long, glorious ponytail.
Yeah, he's like human caffeine, like every infomercial exercise person. And this thing is
he's cocaine with skin.
This thing is spreading his legs so far apart that there's no way anybody at home, nobody who's watching TV at 2 a.m. can do that with their body. You just can't. It's not good. Like things will rip when you do that.
What about the, while we're talking about workout gear, what about let's kind of break this one down because this is a complicated one. We might be able to just break this and do a little miniature version. You know what I mean? Find some subcategories within here.
Sure.
So I'm going to throw a couple at you. Mm-hmm. The Total Gym or the Bowflex?
If I'm picking?
Yeah.
The Bowflex.
The Bowflex.
Sure.
Everywhere. Like, sorry, Christy Brinkley. The Bowflex
and Chuck Norris.
and Chuck Norris. Okay. So Bowflex wins out of that. How about this? The Shake Weight or the Thigh Master?
The Thigh Master. The Thigh Master is a defining television product, not only because it's so ridiculous that it sold like hotcakes, like people just bought it. I think people bought that out of how ridiculous it was.
Yeah.
But also having Suzanne Summers, who I'm pretty sure was getting a piece of that action.
Oh, of course she was.
She has a Thigh Master mansion that she bought.
And then I'm going to go with, because I think I know.
Do you agree, by the way, Thigh Master?
I think
the shake weight is hilarious because it looks like you're doing some stuff.
Yeah. The shake weight is pointless. And I've bought a shake weight before. Did I tell you about our Christmas that we had one year? We did a white elephant for Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah. And the rule was it has to be an as seen on TV product that costs $19.95 or $19.99. I purchased the tactical flashlight, which did not make this list. And, I received the shake weight. No. I purchased the shake weight and I received the tactical flashlight. That's
bummer.
Right. Now let's go to the workouts themselves. P90X, 8-minute abs, or sweating to the oldies?
Sweating to the oldies.
Yeah. Richard Simmons is.
P90X is a great workout. Tony Horton is a very good motivator. Yeah. It all feels very MLM.
Tony Horton.
Because he's telling you like, oh, don't forget to have your shakes here because they sell shakes and stuff.
Yeah.
They're trying to get you to do like a full thing, but it works. People lose weight on it. Tina, who was an older Southern woman, had done it. She called it PX90, and she did it and absolutely like crushed every physical challenge.
Yeah.
Like, she was way stronger than
Good
you
job,
would expect her to
ripped-ass
be.
old lady.
Yeah, she was super ripped. So it gets results. There's something about the energy of Richard Simmons.
Yeah, Richard Simmons like, aside from, somebody of a certain age who is, you're like, wow, it's impressive what she can do. The beauty of Sweatin' to the Oldies is everyone in that video just looked like regular folks.
Yes.
Everyone in the P90X video and the 8-minute abs, like they have abs. They have the whole thing.
Yeah.
Sweatin' to the Oldies was, look, everybody can do it. It's a blast. We're going to listen to some classic music. I'm going to have a ball. And you guys, it was mostly big people, like that don't look like they work out all the time. And they're just having a great time doing it. I love Sweatin' to the Oldies. And it made Richard Simmons a giant star.
Yes. And then he went on to Deal a Meal, and like the hallmarks of his,
Deal also on this list, not as good as Sweatin' to the Oldies.
No. Sweatin' to the Oldies is his signature product, but there is something to the extent to which he cared that you would always see him interviewing someone who either was overweight at the time or had been overweight.
Yeah.
And they would both cry. It was very touching.
Yeah.
And it never felt like, it felt ridiculous to watch it. Like, I can't believe this guy cares this much.
But he
this
really
can't be real.
cares this much.
Yeah.
I honestly believe he cares that much.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to eliminate the Bowflex. And
Sure.
I'm going to say it's a two-way fight between the Thigh Master and Sweatin' to the Oldies.
It's Sweatin' to the Oldies. It's gotta be, right?
It's gotta be Sweatin' to the Oldies. The Thigh Master is silly and fun, but Sweatin' to the Oldies is such a classic.
Yeah.
And it's just made with love, and he is just a national treasure.
Yeah, you don't want to be like squeezing warped steel between your thighs while you watch TV, as opposed to like getting on your feet.
Yeah.
You can do it. Anybody can. That I think is a great product that happens to have a great infomercial from one of the stars of product-based television.
Yes. And you know what? Maybe like the Thigh Master, it does work one muscle group. Sweatin' to the Oldies is going to work everything.
That's right.
But that muscle group, it works. Like you take a pole class and crush it. All right. So Sweatin' to the Oldies is coming out of the workout category. Moving on now. We have 2 categories left. Oh, that's you sending me. That was you sending me the gazelle gift.
I just wanted you to have it on your phone.
Buddy.
Did your dingers get louder since
I think
you
so. I think
have been away?
Oh, you know what? I can just turn the volume off on this.
There you go.
Look at that. All right. Household help.
Right.
Here are the household help products. The ShamWow de-shedding gloves. Those are, for pet hair. Those are the gloves that you pet your pet and then pull off like it's the lint in a dryer.
Right.
The Drop Stop, which catches French fries between your car seat and your center console.
That's right.
The Garden Genie. What's the Garden Genie?
That is a pair of gloves with like claws in them that help you do a variety of gardening tasks.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Your Wolverine. Hercules hooks. Those are super strong hooks that won't mess up your drywall. The Hurricane Spin Scrubber. It's basically like a salad spinner meets a mop.
Yep.
Flex Tape. We already mentioned Phil Swift and the magic of Flex Tape.
Yes.
Magic Mesh was another product that he pitched, right?
No, but similar product.
The Scrub Daddy. What is a Scrub Daddy?
Scrub Daddy is a circular sponge
that is sitting right behind you
with a face in it that you may know from Shark Tank.
Oh, is it a Shark Tank
product? It got investment on Shark Tank, but depending on what temperature of water you soak it in, it either becomes softer or harder, more abrasive for scraping stuff off. Very smart type of product. I've used it a couple times. It's fun because it sinks in to like go inside of a cup and clean it out and pull on it. That's a pretty good use for it.
I never feel like
that's the worst
clean enough.
Did I just use the worst collection of words in a row to describe how to use it? So you put it and then squeeze it inside the cup and then you pull on it and then it cleans.
That's okay. That's,
you know what it is?
Scrub Daddy. That's good enough.
I would be smarter if I hadn't had all those mashed potatoes when I was a kid.
No!
I had too many.
Who did it?
The wife! The wife did it. She's in there boiling them potatoes.
Yeah, taking a skin of the potatoes and throwing them in the garbage.
No iodine, no silicon.
We also have Magic Putty, another one of those multi-use products. The Sticky Buddy. What's Sticky Buddy?
The Sticky Buddy is like a lint roller, but instead of being tape you pull off, it's sort of like some sort of a rubber material, so you can just wash it right off afterwards.
All right,
and
so less disposable. That's good for the environment.
Yeah. You hold on to it, you can wash it. But
Wonder Hanger, that's a pretty cool one.
Wonder Hanger, yeah.
Wonder Hanger, it's basically just stacking up a bunch of hangers and then they lock into one another to save you some closet space.
Super smart.
The Turbo Snake, which is a drain snake. And of course, Billy Mays here for OxyClean.
Oh, yeah.
Rest in peace, Billy Mays.
Another British guy. I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah.
Tony
they had that show
something.
together, Pitchmen.
Yeah.
I feel like what's coming out of this has got to be, and maybe this is just because they were around at a certain time in the early 2000s where they were the only game in town and they were both the biggest, they were both the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and that's the ShamWow and OxyClean. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Is there something else
Yeah.
you wanna
I
add?
think so. Did we talk about the Slap Shop at all? Which was the
We
other
mentioned
Vince
it.
Offer?
That was another
Yeah, we
Vince
did.
Offer
I don't
product.
even remember.
Vince Offer is problematic.
He is a problematic person. It just made me think of, what is it? Fettuccine, linguine, martini, bikini.
Oh, God.
I think he says that during the Slap Shop. The
Yeah.
the ShamWow.
He's basically the Max Landis of
oh, no.
of Pitchmen.
Yep.
Which means we have to give it to OxyClean, right?
I think we do. The ShamWow, though, is a pretty decent product.
ShamWow's cool.
We're not doing the Pitchman, right? We're doing the product.
We're doing not the Pitchman, the product.
OxyClean.
But we did say that we were going to take the Pitchman into account.
It should be into account. And that is a point against for sure.
Yeah.
The ShamWow works.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it got dirty right away. And then I just wanted to throw it in the damn garbage. I didn't want to put it in the washing machine. Like that thing's been on the floor. It's got hair and soda on it. That's not what's on my floor, but you use it in a bunch of stuff. Hair and soda, the Hal Loveland story. I'm going to throw that in the wash with everything. Like it's just gross. No.
Yeah, but you know what? If you throw it in the wash with some OxyClean,
then it'll get clean.
Then it'll get clean.
You can dip your, people are pulling all of their,
pull their drapes down.
Yeah, pull their drapes out.
Everybody wants to dip their lace drapes in it. Here's the thing I found out about the ShamWow. The markup on the ShamWow is insane.
Because what do they charge for it?
$20 for 4 of them.
And they each cost what, 25 cents? Yeah, there you go.
It's something like a 1,500% markup. The price is insanity.
It's brilliant. And they made a ton of money.
But it does absorb both of these I think are interesting because they are science at work. They're both good products. They work, but the ShamWow's way overpriced and Vince Offer is a little problematic.
Yeah. Billy Mays, I think, also wound up being problematic.
Did he really? Oh man.
Everybody's problematic.
We're canceling everybody.
Yeah. But I think as a product, the OxyClean is sort of in a lot of, it's been licensed to a lot of mainstream quote unquote cleaning products.
You can find OxyClean in a lot of things now.
I think by virtue of that, it has elevated itself above just, it'll always be an infomercial product. You'll always see every commercial, even if it's 30 seconds long, has that infomercial feel where you're being yelled at about it.
Yeah.
But it's
dunking lace curtains into a bucket.
Dunking your lace curtains into a bucket and they come out clean as a whistle. I'll tell you what. I think that has to win this category.
Yeah, I think you're right. Shout out though to the ShamWow. Absorbs 10 times its weight
in soda and hair.
In soda and hair.
And like dirt that makes you go, what is happening in my home or in my car or whatever I'm using it to clean with? And I don't want this anymore and I'm going to throw it away.
All right.
Single use.
Are you ready for our final category? It's time for dessert.
All right.
Weirdos.
Let's do it.
Here's our list of weirdos. The Chia Pet, Moon Shoes, Mr. Microphone, The Clapper, Comfort Wipe. Hal, you want to tell everybody what Comfort Wipe is?
Comfort Wipe is a stick, like people don't want to wipe back there because, your hand will get dirty. So why not have a stick do it?
Yep.
You use it, you put
stick that you put some toilet paper on the end.
Essentially have a long stick, you put toilet paper and then you wipe, but it's never one wipe. So now you got to use your hand to put more, unless you're rolling out the toilet paper onto the floor and then using this to repeatedly pick it up, in which case you're getting like
it's the little grabber thing that people use when they're cleaning up the highways.
Like you're doing rhythmic gymnastics to your beehole. It's not going to clean anything. It's not going to work.
And the ribbon routine from Hal. This is another dumb one that I love. The wearable towel. Just a towel with armholes.
You just put it on and then you feel great.
Yeah. Doc Bottom's ass spray.
Yeah.
Or a spray.
A spray.
A-S-P-R-A-Y.
Where all your green stinky zones on your body, you spray it and it goes away.
It's just Axe body spray.
Yeah.
The Titty Bear. T-I-D-D-Y.
That's right.
Which is a little teddy bear that prevents your seatbelt from going in your cleavage.
Yeah.
The Bedazzler. Classic. Add rhinestones to anything.
That's right.
That is some deep South Tennessee right there, man.
Including a phone.
Yeah.
I think a phone gets bedazzled in that.
If you grow up where Dolly Parton is from, then some stuff gets bedazzled in your neighborhood.
That's right.
The Pocket Fisherman.
Yes.
K-Tel, as with the aforementioned K-Tel series of records.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the Snuggie.
Yeah.
The blanket with sleeves.
The second of its kind in the market. The Slanket came first.
Was the Slanket first?
The Slanket came first.
Just didn't have as good a name.
Didn't have as good a name. The Snuggie was better and it had a better, because the commercial was so ridiculous that people would buy them as a joke.
Yeah.
And
like
yet
it's like the Snuggie and the the Snuggie and the Shake Weight.
Yes.
Seem to be from around the same time also.
But the Snuggie works better.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, it's not as functional a blanket. Once you put sleeves on it, then all of a sudden everything you do with it is tied to your shoulders.
Yeah.
So that part of it is kind of sucky.
Also, it's just a backwards robe.
That's true.
All it is a giant backwards robe. It's like, hey, do you want to put your robe on backwards, but you don't want to put your robe on backwards? Here's a robe designed to be put on backwards.
Why don't I put my robe on backwards all the time and just say I have a Snuggie?
Yeah.
I have one.
Yeah, it's just a backwards robe.
For goodness sakes.
That said, we have to at least give the Snuggie, within its category, it's got to go down to the quarterfinals here.
Yeah, I think it's a finalist within this category.
There's some great stuff on here. The clapper, clap on, clap off, the clapper.
Have you ever had a clapper?
No.
We do.
Here?
And yes, no, it's not plugged into anything.
Oh, okay.
But we use it, when we have a Christmas tree, then we'll use that and then we can clap on the Christmas lights.
And then you turn on the Christmas tree and all the people that have come over to see it, they all applaud and then it turns off.
And on again.
Oh, okay.
But the idea that you I know it's supposed to make things easier because you don't have to flip a switch or go to a remote. At the time, your TV might be plugged in. You might not have a remote.
It's not useful anymore, really, because smart products.
Yeah. But the idea that you're going to walk around the house going, and then they had the smart clapper, which was clap on, clap off. So you had like another device. One's going like this. The other one is dealing with, and that's a different thing. So you have to remember which one's which. So you don't like turn off the pacemaker that somehow you're plugged into the wall. You can't leave. Your home's a prison. And why?
Mashed potatoes. I ate mashed potatoes at the hospital.
The wife.
Because my wife, my granny, my mother.
Yeah.
A random woman who wouldn't date me in college. Mashed potatoes.
You know what? Take that Snuggie, throw it in a Vitamix.
Throw it in a Vitamix with lemon juice, prunes.
That's right.
And eggshells only. Take those medals and throw them in a sewer with your fake teeth.
Get that stick from the Comfort Wipe and scrape off the sides of the bowl inside the Vitamix.
Comfort Wipe. Is Mr. Microphone in this?
Mr. Microphone is in this.
Mr. Microphone, if you don't know what it is, was a microphone that allowed you to broadcast to nearby radios. So,
I thought it was just a recorder.
It used FM radio, it would transmit to nearby radio so you could amplify your signal.
I mean, that's kind of brilliant.
I think in the original commercial for it, a guy like talks to a woman's radio while she's driving in like a way that might have been quote unquote charming in 1976, but in 2019 is horrifying.
Yo.
It's like, hey, I'm in your car now.
Oh God.
I'll be over later.
Honestly, the only thing I knew about Mr. Microphone is, the phrase, you want a Mr. Microphone? Do you know that phrase? My dad, I don't know if it was a my dadism or if it was an every dadism of a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I would, accidentally air family laundry or saying something outlandish or gross that I shouldn't say out loud or anything that was my dad's, cause I was a loudmouth kid.
Sure.
That was my dad's thing. It was like, it's the equivalent of, you want to broadcast it to the whole neighborhood?
Yeah. I think that might have been just your dad, but it's the same idea.
It's like, you want a Mr. Microphone?
Great. It's a great illustration of what Mr. Microphone is and does.
Shout out to the Pocket Fisherman because it's the original Ronco product.
Yes.
And it is on this list and it is still sold today.
Yeah.
The Pocket Fisherman, one of my favorite details about it is, anglers, proper fishermen, did not like it because it's kind of dumb. And and not a very good fishing pole.
Yeah.
And Popeil's response to that was, well, it's not for fishing, it's for giving. Which is brilliant insanity of
Super smart.
No, you're not supposed to fish with it. You're supposed to buy it and give it to someone to show that you care. That is incredible to me.
Yeah. Great salesman.
That said, I feel like the one that has to come out of this is the Snuggie.
Yeah.
Just as almost by elimination, because all of these are dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. No, we didn't really talk about another one of the OGs that's on this list.
What's that?
That is still sold everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
licensed to a million different versions. A fun, ironic toy or an actual cool thing.
Chia?
Chia Pet has a great
Chia
theme
Pet.
song. I feel like that's got to beat the Snuggie.
Did you ever have one?
No, I never had a Chia Pet. Who did? I think my brother had a Chia Pet.
Yeah.
That was a human head.
Yeah, it's just
That made
chia
like a
seeds,
little-
and
yeah.
then you pour it, and they sprout.
One, it's looks like a sheep is the main, like the
Yeah, like a hedgehog looking thing.
He had the one that was like a dude whose head became an afro.
Yeah,
Not his head, his hair became an afro.
his hair. Yeah,
But now you can get like a Scooby-Doo Chia Pet, or you can get a million different licensed products.
yeah.
I kind of want to take the Chia Pet because of its
I'm fine with that.
because of its history. This one's not going to win.
Yeah.
But we've got to pull one into the finals.
So we have our finalists.
We have our
now.
finals. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You want to do the eliminate them one at a time, going back and forth?
Okay.
kinda
What
game?
Tell me. Let me type our finalists in. So
Here
I have
are our
them.
finalists.
Go ahead.
The Chia Pet, OxyClean, Sweatin' to the Oldies, Proactive, and the George Foreman Grill. I'll eliminate the Chia Pet,
And I will eliminate Proactive.
and I will eliminate OxyClean. And it is down to the two that I thought it would be down to, which is Sweatin' to the Oldies and the George Foreman Grill.
One thing
Oh.
made to help you lose weight. The other one also meant to do that. But you could
fat reducing grilling machine.
You can cook a lot of stuff in it. You can just take the fat that drains and pour it back on when you're done. You can have it.
Gross.
It's a gravy.
No, it's not. It's raw chicken juice on the bottom.
No, it's
Because it started dripping at the beginning of the cooking process, my
cooked.
friend. How?
I spent a lot of time in hospitals in my mid-20s. And now, for the first time, I'm beginning to think it's possible that was related. Drinking raw chicken juice, that's bad.
Probably.
What if I put it in a Vitamix with a whole egg,
whole egg and the
a
shell?
rubber shoe sole?
You're not supposed to cook stuff.
Yeah, you don't
Kill all the nutrients by cooking it.
Yeah, well, I'm taking
Don't
all the
cook
nutrients.
chicken. You know what? Take that whole chicken, bones and all, put it in a Vitamix.
And I like that the version of the Vitamix you get is a stainless steel container, so you can't see anything, which he has trouble attaching to the base.
Oh,
and then he
yeah.
goes, there's a notch here and there's a notch here, so that it fits. So like, yeah, I know. We all know that there is. But then he's like, I'm going to use a glass version so you can see all the stuff going in, which means when you do it, you have no idea how bad it looks. You just pour it out. You have it's probably like a mint green liquid.
Yeah, it's just gray. Glass of gray.
Every once in a while, a claw just floats to the surface but then goes back down.
Yeah. It's sort of a cross between that trash compactor monster from Star Wars and the 5-fingered shrimp cocktail from Beetlejuice.
And you drink that.
This is hard. Sweatin' to the Oldies or the George Foreman Grill.
I mean, there's one to me that stands out over the other, which is the grill.
As much as I love Richard Simmons.
Yeah.
Because we did say product. And Sweatin' to the Oldies is...
It's a videotape.
Yeah, that's true. It is a video. That is a product.
Yeah. He's not selling a concept. He's not saying, go put on some oldies and dance to
but
them.
What he's selling is Richard Simmons. And he kind of is selling a concept.
Yeah.
He's selling the idea that everyone can do this, that, and maybe that edges him in the right direction of the victory here, in that it's one is a product that is really good, and one is an idea that is really valuable.
I think, but you're not paying for the idea. You're paying for the tape. The idea is he is selling himself in that by getting this tape for a half hour or however long the tape is, you're going to hang out with me.
Yeah.
And we're going to work out together.
I think I think I'm just trying to.
You're trying to keep Richard in.
Trying to keep Richard in there when I think it's clear who.
We need to move him over to the other side of the deal meal wallet because he's done.
Yeah.
People of the world, your winner is the lean, mean, fat-reducing grilling machine, the George Foreman grill. It stands on its side. It does tricks. It drains all the chicken juice out that you can pour it back on.
Stop doing
it doesn't. What drippy chicken are you making, by the way?
Well, because you put a little, you like coat it with a little olive oil or something.
You do? I just put it on there. I would just go, here we go.
Dry rub it. Yeah.
And then you do it. And then when it's cooks, then the juices, like the fat and stuff is coming out.
Yeah, but it's still early in the cooking process. My point is.
I mean, I didn't really drink it, but I could have if I wanted to. You can't
if you're
stop
gonna do
me.
It, microwave it first.
In that stone.
Yeah. In the
stone cooking micro machine.
No, I use it. I will, in my 3 days that I am here, I will probably use my George Foreman grill.
Yeah. It's a grill. It's a panini press.
Yeah.
Those are the two things it is.
Yeah.
But it does those things extremely well.
Yeah.
It is like an invaluable, if you get the one with the removable plates, once it cools down, you can wash it off in like 10 seconds. It washes really easily. It's just a great all-around utility piece to have in the kitchen. It made George Foreman richer than boxing did more famous than boxing did.
Yeah.
Which is also saying something for the power of the product.
Thing he was most famous for was losing the Rumble in the Jungle to Muhammad Ali.
And I've had a great mustache.
Yeah. I feel like people should know that we're not like, this is not like when BuzzFeed is like 20 products you should try.
Yeah.
This is all from the heart. We're not getting money from them.
No, I wish we were. I would take some money.
Yeah.
I'll change the answer
George
if somebody
Foreman,
doesn't pay us.
Hal will fight you in a ring right now.
He's older. I might be able to beat him or at least run away from him for 3 minutes at a time. I wonder if he'd probably beat the crap out of me.
He'd beat the crap out of both of us.
Ugh, and all 900 of his kids. He got a sitcom out of this like the power of this product. Had the product been terrible, had it just been a joke, I don't think it would have lasted as long because it wasn't as crazy. It's not as crazy as a pet egg or a slap chop. There was nothing as memorable in what he did. It was something that actually worked. And that's saying something, that the product supersedes the infomercial, the pitch man, and created opportunity out of it and made him a star, a bigger star than he had ever been before. Again, and bigger than he'd ever been before.
Yeah.
So that is why, in addition to it being just a great piece, that the George Foreman grill is your winner, asked and answered.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what?
What's that?
This topic is closed, but wait, there's more. So please reach out to us on Twitter at We Got This Tweets. Check out the Maximum Fun subreddit, or
you can email us at WeGotThisPodcast@gmail.com, or go to the Facebook group, Facebook.com/groups/WeGotThisPodcast. Let's talk about that original Vitamix infomercial. And also,
will you post that on the group?
I will. And also share GIFs and just memories of your favorite as seen on TV products. We want to hear about you. Maybe there are things we didn't mention here that you love that are near and dear to your heart. We want to know about it.
Maybe like my dear friend Andy Crocker, you have an obsession with and have had a life goal of being the frazzled person in the black and white half of an as seen on TV product ad, and can find some of your favorites of those.
Yeah.
I don't know how a sink works.
What am I going to do with all these fingers? That was a great SNL commercial. Remember the finger remover with Victoria Jackson? And at the end, they're like, what time are we going to meet? And she says, make it 5. And she holds up she has 2 extra fingers.
Melting off your,
it gives them like gangrene, and then she's got paint. Like she slams them in a drawer and it's like, Rah! Very, very funny.
I do remember that
commercial.
Anyway, this is closed. It's only left for us to thank
producer Ken Plume, researcher Kate McManus for putting this list together for us, graphic designer Uri Kelman, and QA engineer Jen Alba.
And of course, our musicians, Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman, for our score and theme song respectively. And to you, our listeners, for giving us an opportunity to sit and have a really good time talking about really silly things from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin. And don't worry, everybody. Mashed potatoes!
Damn it.
We got this.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned. Audience supported.